what are co-working spaces? Because you can always work from a cafe near you, or you can work from home. Why go to a co-working space when you have all these options available? A whopping 84% of people working in these spaces say they feel more motivated. And the most important part is location. Location, location, location. Hello everyone, welcome to Deskimo, which is world's leading pay-per-minute workspace access app. Now this is a very special video. In this video we have tried to do something different, something new. We have recently posted a blog on our website, and the blog is titled Coworking Spaces, the ultimate guide for this year 2024. Now in this video I'll take you through the blog. We will just touch the overview and take into consideration the points that are mentioned in the blog. The detailed blog, obviously, you can always read through. The link to the blog I will add in the description. But in this video, let's go through the overview of the blog in general, understand different aspects of co-working spaces, how you look at it and how should you look at it. So there are things to consider, and without any further ado, let's jump straight into it and let me set the scene for you. Here we go. So today we are going to talk about co-working spaces, the ultimate guide for the year 2024. Now this is a fairly recent blog. You can see we have posted it on 17th of September this year. So again, the link to the blog is in the description, so you can always go through the blog in detail. But in the blog, you can find certain topics that we have covered, starting with the definition of co-working spaces, like what are co-working spaces. Then we talk about the benefits, the factors to consider when choosing a co-working space. Then there's a special section where we take you around the world with Deskimo, exploring certain co-working spaces in the locations where we are present, and spaces you can book directly on our app and the website. And then finally we top it off with the basic overview of co-working spaces in general, which includes certain trends and statistics for the year 2024, and then we conclude the blog. Now let's start with the very first question. What are co-working spaces? What exactly is a co-working space? Now, how we see it is that it's not just a place where you work, but it is a place of work that fits your personality, is right for you, and where you enjoy working along with other things. So in the past, you might have come across a lot of definitions for co-working spaces. So according to us, it should not just be a place where you work, right? It should be a place that adds additional value, because you can always work from a cafe near you, or you can work from home. Why go to a co-working space when you have all these options available? There are certain factors to it. So the co-working spaces give in a lot of additional value in terms of how well it fits your personality, how well the people you're working with interact with you, the networking that happens, and a lot of other factors to consider. So according to us, that's how you should look at co-working spaces, not just as a place to work, but a place where you can do a lot of things along with working, and it adds to the experience, makes your day a lot more worthy in a lot of aspects. So I think that's how you look at co-working spaces through our lens. And obviously you can let us know how you imagine your perfect or ideal co-working space to be. You can always let us know in the comments, reach out to us on social media, and let us know how you want your perfect co-working space to be. Now the next point in the blog is touching the benefits of co-working spaces, which include factors like cost effectiveness, the sense of flexibility you get with the co-working space you're working at. Then the enhancement of productivity at these places. It's very essential to choose a place where you are more productive, where the entire atmosphere gels in a way that helps you create the best work out of you. The next point is networking opportunities that comes with the co-working spaces. So you can meet a lot of like-minded people at these places, and the networking always sparks a lot of productive communications in the end. And finally, you have access to resources and events. So a lot of these co-working spaces host their own events, provide their own resources that can help you grow yourself and your company and your team, and in a lot of ways. So these are some of the benefits that you get out of co-working spaces. Now in the next section, you can see In the image, it shows how Deskimo is connecting workspaces for you, where you pay by the minute. You have access to more than 350 locations worldwide with great amenities. So these are things you can always come on Deskimo to explore. The next point that, or the next part of the blog would be factors to consider when choosing a workspace. And the first and the most important part is location. Location. So let's paint a scenario. You are in a new city, for example, and you want to work at a space that's nearby. Obviously, you don't want to have an extra hassle of travel, right? Or it can be in your own hometown where you look at a space which is within your proximity, where you don't spend a lot of time traveling, but the experience also counts a lot. So the location is a very important factor while choosing a co-working space. Followed by amenities that enhance your work. So some of the examples could be having access to a high-speed Wi-Fi, having printing facilities on site, different spaces for meetings, for having a focused work, or maybe Zoom calls, etc. If you are a fan of open spaces or natural light, you can maybe access the terrace or rooftops. You might want to have your favorite coffee or some snacks in the area where you work. So coffee shops or barista on site always helps. And also fitness and wellness initiatives that are taken care of by the co-working spaces. So these are some of the amenities you generally look for. And on Deskimo, you can, whenever you open a workspace, you can see a list of amenities that you can access directly on that particular site. So it's very helpful that way as well. The next part is networking opportunities and a sense of community. So co-working spaces, they always provide you this additional benefit of meeting new people who might or might not be in your same industry, but then again you find a lot of collaborations, a lot of like-minded people, and in a way, when you work at a co-working space, the sense of community harbors. So that's something that's always adding value to your general day of work. Now, embedded in between, you can find a video that's already live on YouTube that covers the top 5 co-working spaces in Dubai. We have been working, and in a few more days, we'll try to put up more videos covering different locations around the world where we are present, so that you can have a quick access to a very quick guide of the top 5 spaces, for example. So that's there. The next few points would be flexibility and membership plans pricing. So flexibility in pricing and membership plans is very important. And at Deskimo, we are very proud to share that the pricing is very transparent. You only pay for the time that you use, down to the minute. And with additions like GrabPay and Pay Now in Singapore, the entire process of payments have become very efficient and smooth. And we are constantly working to integrate more and more payment options for you to make the entire process a lot more transparent and efficient. And the next point would be atmosphere and interior design. So you might, like I said, you might want to work at a place that has abundance of natural light, or maybe a rooftop access, or if you want to work at a space that's very, historically, architecturally inspired. So we have spaces of that kind as well. So you always get to choose and try out different atmospheres and see what fits best. And finally, I think one of the most important points would be health and safety measures, especially post pandemic. It is essential that all health and safety measures and protocols are followed and are in place, so that you feel safe when you are at any of the co-working spaces that we host on our website and the mobile app. So these are some of the points you need to consider. Now, before we go into the next part of the blog, to understand any topic, we must ask 5 W's and 1 H. These are questions that are when, what, who, why, where, and how. Now, in the last few sections that we have covered up until now, we have understood what are co-working spaces, who goes there and when, why should people choose them, and how should they choose them. But the most important question still remains unanswered, which is where should you go, right? So in the next section, we'll try to answer that, which brings us to the part which is very special to us, is co-working spaces around the world with Deskimo. So in this part of the blog, you can actually find all the locations we are currently operating in with certain highlights and an explore section. So under the highlights, for example, for Singapore, you can find access to the top 5 workspaces in Singapore, the co-working spaces near the Singapore MRT lines, or a blog covering 10 affordable co-working spaces that charge below $5 per hour. So we keep adding more and more information for each of the locations that helps you narrow down the perfect co-working space for you. And under the explore, you can just click on free roam. You will be on the Deskimo website. You can have a map view of the entire Singapore area. You can see which particular co-working space is where, with the prices and everything, the different amenities it provides. And the same can be done for UAE, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and now Japan, which we recently did a soft launch for. And you can find the highlights of the launch in here with the explore section under free roam. And that's that. We have been constantly trying to integrate more and more co-working spaces while you are reading the blog or you are watching this video. So we are constantly trying to provide the best co-working experience to you, and this is just a place where you can start exploring to begin with. And then again, if you have any specific requirements or places you want to visit near your area, you can always let us know in the comments or reach out to us. We'll help you figure out what's the best co-working space for you based on your budget, on your likings, needs, requirements, and everything. Now, in the next section, we basically try to provide you with an overview of co-working spaces. So very quickly, some of the points, like there are different types of co-working spaces, who can use them, what common amenities you should expect, and then there are some numbers. So by 2024, the number of co-working spaces are expected to reach close to 42,000 worldwide. By the last year, we have had in the industry we have had 5.07 million members, and there are a lot of numbers you can look into. This will help you identify the growth of this sector per se. And in the next part, we try to cover some trends around co-working. So the new trends to watch out for in 2024 would be sustainable practices, integration of new technology and how best to use them. And then we have some co-working spaces that are industry specific. So if you belong to one of these industries or some niche markets, it's good for you to be part of these specific co-working spaces, as the sense of community always plays a big factor there. Now, some statistics again to watch for this year would be explosive growth. The industry is growing at an unprecedented rate, and you should make sure that you make the most out of it. Then there is a lot of membership surge, but then again, with access to Deskimo and the facilities and amenities we provide, you can always cut down on your expenses and make sure you find the perfect fit for you in all your needs and requirements. Then there are other statistics to watch out for, including the ages of people who are working, how the market is expanding, and what are the motivations that are getting in this particular industry. The last 2 points are very interesting, I would say. For example, a whopping 84% of people working in these spaces say they feel more motivated. So who would not want to feel motivated, right? So, and if 84% is a very high percentage, a very high number, so you should at least try out a few co-working spaces to get the same sense of this statistic. Like, are actually people feeling motivated there? What kind of motivation basically is contagious in these forms of spaces? So that's something to experience. And also 68% report a significant improvement in their ability to concentrate when working in a co-working environment. So I'm sure most of us have found ourselves not concentrating on the work a lot of times. So it's good to just try out a co-working space to see how it affects your concentration, your motivation, and all those factors. So these statistics basically point you to that direction in the end. And finally, you can see again we talk about the Japan launch. So if you're traveling to Japan or you are in Japan, you can always check out Deskimo and see the places we have added for you and just explore them. And that's that. We have tried to cover these aspects of co-working spaces in the blog. We will be covering more of these aspects in detail later on. We'll be adding more videos around specific topics under co-working and co-working in general. So do let us know if you have any questions, any suggestions, anything you want to add to this video. We would be greatly looking forward to that. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon if you like, so any video that we post, it comes directly to you as a notification. And trust us, we are working hard and trying to make this a more regular and more frequent thing. We want to provide all the information that we can, given our user base, and having a lot of people who are visiting our spaces in all the countries around the world. So it always helps to help others. So I think that's that. And thank you so much. If you are here and watching me say these things, that means you have been through the video, which is great. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, we'll be coming up with more such videos and try to be more frequent with them. And thank you so much. I hope that this video provided and added some value in your life. And yeah, do let us know any questions that you have in the comments. The link to the blog is in the description. You can visit, just go read the blog, let us know what you feel. And yeah, thank you so much for being with us throughout the video. See you in the next one.